Settle your nerves.
I don't have nerves.
Are you ready to start recording?
Yeah, we've been recording for 11 minutes.
Let's go. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I am good. I am well.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. What's been happening?
Not much, to be honest. Been a good week, just ticking along.
Standard week?
Watched a lot, standard week. Watched a lot of rugby this weekend.
Good.
Like most people have, it's Six Nations weekend.
Very popular.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get away from it. Yep, everywhere. And then I went to the Chiefs as well, and it was super cold.
Nice.
Like
minus 23.
Yeah, according to my Snapchat. Yeah. No, it's just cold, but yeah, nice weekend. What have you been up to?
Yeah, lots. I went to Sidmouth yesterday, day before. No, yesterday, Saturday. Oh. Well, I got up in the morning and fancied something different. Thought, let's go to Sidmouth. And it was snowing.
Snowing in Sidmouth?
Yes, snowing in Sidmouth. So that was good.
Yeah, when I
went to that summer seaside town in Devon, East Devon, and it was snowing.
But it is a seaside town full of the dying.
Yes, it is. There's lots of old people there.
Mainly old.
But that's good, because it made me feel young and youthful and...
full of life.
Full of life. It was nice, actually. It's a nice place. It's well looked after. That's probably because there's so many old people. Yes,
they pay good taxes, and they demand it gets looked after.
Exactly.
Before we forget, welcome to Start of a 10. He's George.
He's Angus.
Yes. About the snow.
Yes.
I drove to a friend's house, Jack's, to watch the rugby. I went over Holden Hill, which is obviously treacherously known for just getting slightly more snow than anywhere else.
It does.
I mean, we're talking to the point where there was a light covering, a light dusting that would register at approximately 1 to 2 millimetres of coverage. There was 4 accidents.
Was there really?
A van facing the wrong way.
I didn't see that.
There was people just lost their minds.
People do though.
It's not hard. Just drive in the 2 clear tracks. Don't change lane at 70 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Don't suddenly brake. Leave a massive gap. Drive a little slower.
I saw a Facebook message once it started snowing. Someone said, "Buy your bread and milk now," which made me laugh.
Exactly. It's stupid. It just doesn't need to happen.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and we've got that too. I thought we were done with this, but it's February and
it's most likely to snow in February, though. I think.
Is it?
I think so.
Is that a thing?
I think so. In this country.
Statistically, or
I think so.
Meteorologically.
Don't know.
Pardon me, sorry.
That's alright, it's beer.
Yes, speaking of beer.
This week, on the Start of a 10,
we have Tiski.
Tiski,
1629, Polish beer.
Which we have had before.
Yeah,
this is a very long time ago.
It is a repeat.
Polski Chmiel, Polska Dusa. I've definitely said that wrong.
Translate it live, please.
Polish beer. Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer.
And I know you can't speak Polish.
It's nice. It's a 5.5% lager, basically, and it's really quite nice.
If I had one word to describe it, I would just say simple.
Yeah,
like it's really drinkable.
It is drinkable, and it's 5.5.
Worryingly simple.
It's brewed for Asahi UK, which is a bit weird because Asahi is a Japanese beer.
Oh, I don't get into who's brewing it for who.
No, I just spotted it on the side.
Okay.
It's nice. It says, do not drive.
Yeah, and there's a lady here who...
Do not become pregnant.
Do not become pregnant. Is that saying it won't make you pregnant?
I don't know. And that it's...
And you shouldn't have 18 plus bottles.
No, you shouldn't.
Of it. That would be a fatality.
Too much Tiski.
Too much Tiski.
Brilliant. And the beers are supported this week by...
Once again...
the official crisp of the pod.
Yeah, the official... It has pretty much become the approved crisp of the pod.
Basically is, yeah. Well, I'm not even going to tell you what they are. You should know.
Oh, come on, everybody knows.
You should know.
Yeah, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Another week rolls on of the best crisps
and alternative beer.
Yeah. Which, actually, interesting fact, George bought this beer last week.
I did.
But we had something else in that looked... Last week we had...
bugger, I can't remember.
Oh, that craft beer stuff. Oh, the Guinness Hop House, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we had Hop House.
We had Hop House.
Hop House IPA.
So we decided that we'd overrun, and we kept the Tisky.
Kept it for this week.
Under the stairs.
Yep,
saving it for this week. So there's been a lot of build-up to the Tisky for me. It's good.
It's nice. It's a good beer.
It's good. Right, would you like to get started?
Yeah, what is the starter for 10 today?
Well, love is in the air. It's Valentine's week on Tuesday.
Yes. It's
I don't know, people have probably listened to it by then. Most people.
Yeah,
well, if you haven't listened to it, love is still in the air.
Yep.
Hope you didn't mess up your Valentine's Day or whatever you were doing.
Wow.
Well, this guy...
I hope you had a nice day on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I hope you had a nice day.
A nice day.
This comes of news from... This is from menshealth.com.
Oh, God.
But news comes that a man has created a Tinder-like dating app where he's the only guy available.
What? Really?
Yes.
What's it called? I want to find it. Is it available?
Let me get to this. If you ever use Tinder, you know the going of the odds are stacked against you. For starters, there's tons of dudes on Tinder. Not only that, but European scientists recently studied the behaviour of Tinder users, found that the majority of women really only swipe right for guys they're actually interested in, while men are much less picky and likely to casually swipe right. As everybody knows that people have pretty much crashed the app, swiping right as fast as humanly possible. Right. So if you're looking to Tinder to find a last-second date for Valentine's Day, reminder, it's just not that far away. I'm not going to say how many days, because it's pointless. Because I won't be...
It's the 14th, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, so it's 2 days away.
I think so.
Yes, the app is called Shinder.
Shinder,
yeah.
Wow,
it's the brilliant work of entrepreneur, author, product designer, motivational speaker, and all-round jokester, Shed Simouv.
How is he spelling it? Is it available in the App Store?
Shinder.
No, it's not.
I imagine it might have been an Android one, because that might have been easier to get onto.
Yeah, I looked on Android. That's one I couldn't find it.
Oh, maybe.
Shinder.
I'll look for
It's very close to Schindler, isn't it?
Yeah, common maker of lifts, would you believe?
Yeah. And lists.
Yeah, which always gets me because it's Schindler's Lift.
Schindler's Lift.
Schindler's List. It's quite close.
Yeah, you wonder, actually. I've not looked up the history. I wonder whether they're related anyway. Surely not. I highly doubt it.
I am going to say that I'm not going to research that, because that is how we ended up having a conversation about nodules, banisters, and spent 7 minutes talking about staircases. So let's probably not go on to lifts.
Just leave it on the note that Schindler's List is a really good film.
Okay, I'll let you have that.
Yeah,
what would your score be?
Oh, it's a 9.
Who's starring in it?
There's a few people. Liam Neeson.
I'm not even going to check
Liam
IMDb
Neeson,
because we know
Ralph
he's right.
Fiennes, and they're probably the only... Oh, and Ben Kingsley.
Oh, yes.
Ben Kingsley,
the guy who looks exactly like the...
Gandhi.
Yeah, Gandhi.
He does a very good job of...
And he also looks amazingly like the... Is it the Palestine dude?
Palestine dude?
Or the Israel... is either Israeli or... Maybe he's dead now, but he looked... he was an absolute spitting image of the...
What, the guy in charge who died last year?
Yes.
I don't know his name.
It doesn't matter. Nobody else will.
Anyway,
so let's move on.
But Schindler's List is a really good film. Historical, it's sad, but it's a very good film.
Yeah, Shinder is the brilliant work of entrepreneur, author, joke product designer, and motivational speaker, all-round jokester Shed Simouv. He's also behind such stunts as a book called What Every Man Thinks About Apart from Sex. The kicker with this book is it's just 200 blank pages.
Brilliant.
He's also had other top publications such as 50 Shades of Grey, spelled with an AY, which contains 200 blank pages, except they slowly go from light to a dark grey.
Good. And there's 50 pages.
Yes. Well, there's 50 shades, and there's 4 pages per, so it does add up. It's a 200-page book.
Oh, I see.
He's had many, many ideas, but many of them are just printing blank 200-page books.
They are not ideas, then, are they? That's
yeah, but
poor.
people are buying them, and he's making loads of money.
Yeah, he's great. Well, there's got to be one like Things Men Know About Women or something. Surely he's done that.
Obviously, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Pardon me. Oh, Sorry, I've had my dinner and this is bad.
Right, don't worry about it.
I'm sat in one of these. What's the IKEA
The
chair?
IKEA chair.
The standard one called.
No. Oh crap. What's it called? No. Oh, bugger it. We need quicker fact checking than this. There's going to be people there, like, I know the name.
People shouting
it.
The name of that IKEA, the IKEA chair.
The IKEA chair that everybody knows. I'm Googling it. I'm nearly there. No, I'm not. I'm miles away. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, I've got it. What's that called? What is it called?
A poang.
Powang.
I'm sat here in my poang. And, yeah, it's not good for digestion.
They are comfy, though.
Yeah, they're very comfortable.
Yeah, very comfy.
Yes. The Shinder app, Shinder, the tagline is quality, not quantity. And, the 45-year-old Simova is using it to find love on Valentine's Day.
Has he managed it yet, or do we not know?
He's already had 100 matches so far.
100?
I
can't believe 100 women have downloaded it.
Well, they're not necessarily women, are they? And he said, "No, I'm a big fish in my own pond." That was the quote he gave.
God.
But some of his other ideas he's had. Let's look at some of his other ideas.
Yeah, let's. Because so far he sounds like a lad.
He's like a Guinness World Record. How to cure insomnia. Blank 200-page book.
That would be a good way to cure insomnia.
Yeah. A chopping board that's just a picture of Shakespeare.
What?
I don't really get that one. A spatula that's a count, so it's Count Spatula.
That's quite funny.
A whoopee cushion with Whoopi Goldberg on it.
That's quite funny.
A doormat that says My Pad on it. It's in My Pad.
Yeah, that's funny.
A Sergeant Pepper Mill, which is a Beatles Sergeant Pepper look-alike pepper mill. A Babe magnet, which is just a magnet that says Babe on it.
Oh, I see.
He makes a lot of
I once saw
low-quality, poor gifts.
I saw a
Oh, here's a selection of products that you do not click if you're easily offended. This might be more our scene. Keep calm and have a poo blue roll.
Yeah, that's good.
A watch that's a give a fuck-ometer.
That's quite good. Does it always just stay at 0?
A remote control helicopter that's just the word fuck. And it's the flying fuck.
Great.
Maybe they're quite funny, but I mean, it's not exactly like
I saw
not tearing down trees, is it, with his ideas?
I once saw a sponge in the shape of Martin Luther King, and it was called Martin Luther King.
Oh, Martin Luther King. I like that. See?
Which I thought was quite funny.
Yeah, so this... I don't really know how this is... So this guy is...
So he does novelty gifts.
He's made a career out of having lots of ideas.
Great. Well, that's good. Good that he can take them all to market and make money on them.
And the thing is, he's successful because we're talking about him.
Yeah, we know
we're
who
making
he is.
This,
who is he? Is he British? Is he American? Is he Indian? German? French?
It doesn't really
Belgian?
say.
Spanish?
Oxford. Yeah, he's just a British
entrepreneur.
He's a British entrepreneur.
So, come on then. What is the best idea you've ever had for a product that you haven't taken to market, which you probably should have, or at least patented before you said it on here?
It's really, it's very specific, and it's recently come out that somebody's done it, but
wow.
I should have done it at the time. It's a really boring one. It's a very cycling orientated thing.
So there'll be cycling fans.
Mountain bikes get punctures, obviously.
Yep.
People like to run in like high-end mountain bikes. People run tubeless tires, so they don't have inner tubes in them, which means you can run slightly lower pressures. And by running lower pressures, the tire can deform as you ride over roots, so you get more rubber on the ground, better grip.
Yep.
However, the flip side of this is that if your tire deforms, if it obviously bends too far, your rim makes contact with the ground, and there you go, you can damage your rim and hit it on rocks and the like. Well, what the idea was is essentially a sausage of foam, perhaps like a foam that went hard on impact, called like the D30 foam or whatever, that you just slot in the middle of the rim, and it would sit slightly higher than the profile of the rim, so that you wouldn't be able to make contact. So you'd have that
crash barrier.
So it would be so as the tire went down, if it hit against it would hit the rubber that would go hard on impact before it hit the rim, and you wouldn't damage your rim.
Great idea.
It was a great idea, but
how many years ago did you have that idea?
5-6 years ago.
Oh,
It would have in all seriousness, if I'd known how, and I had the whereabouts and the investment to get it done, you would have been able to sell a few. It wouldn't have been my millions, but
so someone's now done it.
Yeah, loads of people have come up with a few ideas, and one was like on one of the biggest cycling websites. This week was the review of it.
Wow, and it's good.
Yeah, and it works. This guy's been using it for a year, and he has like the World Cup race, and he hasn't had a puncture. So there you go. So yeah, Angus probably should have done that before.
Maybe I shouldn't have brought that up.
No, which is interesting, isn't it? But to me, it gives me a lot of self-satisfaction knowing that my idea would have been good.
That's true. Knowing that it went to market successfally and
but sadly,
is successful.
But sadly, I'm seeing none of this. But then also it's quite difficult because as like 18-year-old me coming up with ideas feels slightly different than if like 23, somebody of mid-20s comes up with an idea, probably has a better chance of it happening.
Yeah, so if you come up with another idea now,
I've got a few ideas and I'm not going to say anything.
You're going to have to run with them then.
Yeah, probably.
Do it, mate. Do it. I've never had a good idea. Well,
I'm working on something at the moment.
That's it.
I'm working on something, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Enough of that. Keep it to yourself. I probably have had ideas, but I've forgotten them. This happens to me a lot. I think of something good and then I forget about it.
Was it good then?
Yes. But I think of like, I don't know, story ideas or like a film idea or something, or something that will really help make a good gadget or whatever, and they just go in and then they fall out and I forget about them.
It's so difficult though to get that first step, to get the ball rolling on it. There must be.
It's about investment, isn't it? You've got to perfect your product in your head and in design as much as you can, and then you take it to Kickstarter nowadays.
Yeah, but I think what we need somewhere to put ideas, because some people just have lots of good ideas.
There are places where you can submit ideas and they will make them for you.
Yeah,
and you'll see a return. I
don't want to see something before that. I would just want somewhere where I can take my ideas with still. If it's your idea, it's your. The problem is, it all becomes, because it's a dog eat dog world. It's all about money and who owns what straight from the off. Which is why if somebody says something that is actually innovative, unless they've owned the rights to it and say that they've done it before somebody else and
someone else to do it,
got a worldwide patent on it, somebody else does it and they own the money and you never see anything of it.
Yeah.
So you can't, in my lovely world where everybody's kind and friendly, I'll have a message board where you can go, I've got these great ideas, but I don't really know how to go with them.
I need a mechanical engineer to give me a hand.
Yeah, but I don't really know where to go with them now on. Would you like to... But what you'd have to do is almost anonymously buy in on ideas, and no idiot in the world is going to anonymously buy in on something they don't know.
Of course they're not.
So my idea is vaguely flawed.
You've got to invest in your own product.
Yeah, it's not.
If you believe in it enough, then you invest and you take it forward.
How many people do you find on like Dragon's Den or whatever who do? It's not that they don't believe. Or they do believe in their product and they've got the money to do it and they believe in what they're doing a lot, but they just physically don't know how.
Yeah, that's true.
They just don't know where to go.
With the internet now, like, you can find anything out online. You could do it all. You could do the legwork and work it all out. It'd take you years, but you could do it. Definitely, you can find Chinese manufacturers yourself.
Yeah, you can do that.
You can get...
That's
easy. So once you know how to make it, you get some factory in China to make it for you. What would you run for?
Run you up some samples.
Yeah.
Throw some money at it.
Free sample.
Nothing in this world is free. There wouldn't be free samples. You'd have to pay for them.
Yeah, true. You pay for them in the end.
And then also, I can imagine that you come up with these good ideas, and then you get to that point where you've got to send your money off to China, and you're like
sending 10 grand to China.
Yeah, you suddenly got a PayPal. You've got to send as a PayPal gift like 850 quid to Weiling Yao, and then he's just going to send back your products to an unmarked brown box, and you're all of a sudden, is this such a good idea? Because there's no refunds on getting prototypes made, I imagine, from China.
Probably not.
Yeah.
You just got to do it, mate. You got to take that idea and go for it. If people didn't go for it with things, then we wouldn't have stuff, would we?
It just takes a certain kind of person. And then there's other kind of people. And the problem is you almost need like a conglomerate. You need to form like a conglomerate to make ideas happen. Some people have lots of ideas. Some people can just sell anything.
Yeah.
Some people are good
salesmen.
at... Some people... It doesn't matter what it is. They could...
Designers.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can be a great ideas man, but a terrible designer.
And not know... Yeah, but if you... But
if you can describe it to a designer and a designer designs it, then...
Yeah.
Great.
And coming up with the idea is the hardest thing. I swear.
Yeah.
And also, I hate finding... Nothing annoys me more than having to do something twice or having something really... Everything I look at in the world, I look at it and go, how does that work?
Yeah.
Why does that work?
Yeah,
so everything I look at it, I see with a how could I make it better eye.
Yeah.
And even when I look at things with a how do I make it better eye, I don't just suddenly see ideas and things. And, not just falling out.
But not more than once I've thought about things and thought can opener, for example. Perfect. Don't need to change it. It opens a can. It does what it says on the tin. It's perfect. 6 months later or a year later, a new product will come out, a new type of can opener, and you think, damn, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that was better.
That
was
has
just better than
improved
anything
that
I
product.
thought I could have done.
That has improved the product. And there's things that you don't think need improving, but do. So it's about getting your... Think about
Well, then
right.
also you become... Or maybe just looking in the worldwide home gadget is like the wrong...
Yeah, probably.
The wrong way to go. Like,
yeah.
Staring at here, I can see some drawers that if there was some way I could get a retrofittable soft door closer...
You can.
For drawers.
They exist.
Exactly, like
They
that
exist.
kind of thing.
But those drawers would need runners.
Yeah, they're on runners, don't worry.
Oh, they are? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, but those kind of things, I see things and then I just be like, oh, that's cool.
I like the holes rather than the...
Doesn't work in audio format, George.
Oh.
Here, he's pointing at a drawer that has holes in the front of it instead of...
It has holes, so you put your fingers in it and put it rather than a little handle, which actually is quite a good way of approaching it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's chest of drawer talk. Chest
of drawer.
Chest of drawers.
Chest of drawers.
That's classic. Have you ever seen gone on like Twitter? A friend of mine, they came on our podcast. They were in there. Joe and Andy have a real thing for going on Twitter and seeing people who just search for like Chester drawers or
like mispronounced and misspelled phrases.
Misspelt of common pronunciations almost.
Hilarious, yeah.
Chester
like
drawers.
Bone apple teeth.
That's
the classic.
Love the smell of her cologne, but instead colon. I love the smell of her colon on my shirt. Just so many.
Oh, I love it. I love that stuff.
Just the internet is just glorious. I've had some moments this week of pictures I've seen that have been just like absolute glorious moments where you're like, this is as good as the internet is ever going to get. A print screen I've got here. This is from Britain First, the Spain. Britain First, Spain. So this is a Spanish wing of Britain First, would you believe?
Well, it's because there's so many Brits in Spain.
Yeah, expats, right? Please everyone pray for one of BF Spain's soldiers, Chris, who has smashed his foot up and is in plaster. Somebody's messaged them saying, was the Spanish medical system good? Right? The response was, very good. Much better than in Britain because it's not all being used up by immigrants like in Britain. Hashtag, full capitals, time to do the Brexit.
What, immigrants like you?
The irony is just glorious. And you're like, what? The internet is just amazing. It was
That's amazing. They are immigrants.
What? No, you can't get this. I think it was on a Newsbeat Facebook post I saw.
Yeah.
This was somebody talking about Danny Dyer becoming new Doctor Who, right? And there's a comment on it saying Doctor Who is for paedophiles. And then somebody's just gone to war with this guy afterwards. Look, Mum, I found a dickhead. And then the response to that was from another bloke. Look, Mum, I found a paedophile. Like, they're just teeing off on each other.
Jesus
I don't get
Christ.
why do people do this on social media? Go onto places like Well, you've never met a bloke. He's like Steve from Bromley. Why are you going to go and pick a fight with him?
They are. Sometimes they're funny, but sometimes they're not. The best one is that 5 out of 7 guy.
Yes.
That is
classic.
The best thing in the world, because you all have those friends that aren't really friends, but you're on your Facebook.
Somebody who you knew in school.
Just say stupid things all the time, and you get to that point where you want to intervene, but you don't, because you're a civilized human being. There's a guy, I don't know their names, I can't remember, but there was a guy who it was basically, he said that one of the films he'd seen was 5 out of 7, and this guy commented, he's like, why is 5 out of 7? And he's like, oh, it was great, I loved it, I give it top marks, and it's just like, 5 out of 7 isn't top.
I'll find it now. Fight Club, 5 out of 7 movies.
Yeah.
5 out of 7 movie. 5 out of 7, I must say that's a grading scale like no other I've seen before. And then he goes, then he just kicks off back at the guy. Shut up, Rob. I liked the movie. I thought it was dark and mysterious, almost as good as The Dark Knight. Spelt wrong. He spelt night with just an N. Classic. Yes, I don't think I'll soon forget The Dark Knight, the masterful superhero film by Christopher Colon. This guy's just trolling him. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Whatever, I don't care. The point is I like Fight Club and I would have given it a perfect score. Sullivan's theorem. In film reviewing situations, the integer 5 is roughly equivalent to the integer 7. Note, this is not applicable in any other scenario. And then basically he just goes on every of his Facebook statuses and just rips and just
some of them
picks it incorrectly.
Some of them are so annoying, and they're exactly the same as we've all seen on Facebook. Situations where you just want to get involved and just troll the guy.
Then I can't. Yeah, there's so many, and then it became basically a famous cult internet.
Yeah,
thing
the
where
5.
people...
It's almost a meme where 5 out of 7 is the best score you can give something.
Yeah, well, it is. 5 out of 7 is perfect. If I had to rate this podcast, I'd give it 5 out of 7.
So I would give it 5 out of 7. So if you fancy a bit of light entertainment, a 10-minute break from work, Google 5 out of 7, and you will see some hilarity.
He's called Brendan.
Brendan
scores a perfect 5 out of 7 on this one.
It's great.
Oh.
But you do see, especially with stuff like some of the things Britain First post, you just want to get involved, but you just don't, because you just can't be bothered.
I used to have I went through a time where I used to enjoy shooting fish in a barrel, let's put it that way. And there was a Facebook group I was part of that was full of just idiots. Right? And it was just it was easy pickings.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I'd turn off my notifications and then light the touch paper and then walk off and then come back in a while.
Just see what happened.
I didn't realise that I didn't realise at the time that, you know, most people probably don't. On Facebook, you have like a second inbox, like a messenger to people who aren't your friend.
Yeah, you have like a hidden inbox.
Like a hidden inbox. Well, there was somebody who was like, oh, have you checked your hidden inbox? I was like, what? You go and check the hidden inbox. I think it was about 60 people telling me that I was going to die and wishing bad upon me, saying that I was going to hell.
What group were you a member of?
I don't think I need to go any further of where this was, but yeah, it was quite fun. But I would equivalent it to shooting fish in a barrel with a shotgun. It was quite agricultural.
It just annoys when people don't look something up before talking about it. It's like someone will write a really long post where they've given their opinion on something, and you know they haven't even looked up the facts. So they'll support, say, a clip from a news story, and they haven't even read the story. They just give their opinion.
Yeah, or they just read the headline and then tee off on it.
Oh!
Yeah, you got to read.
Commit the time.
The classic one now is Vice magazine. The Vice comment section became such a cesspit that they actually turned off commenting on their articles.
Yeah,
they got rid of comments. The only place you can comment is on Facebook now.
Lots of people do it on YouTube, don't they? Like Trump's inauguration and stuff. They just comment off.
Yeah,
because they just don't want people to.
Yeah, it's just not worth the.
Not worth the faff.
It's not worth the faff, and what inevitably somebody's going to say something wrong, or it's
exactly.
Just. If any, arguably they're almost doing people a favour because the other argument is it's just free. Everyone's like, oh, it's free speech. Well, it is and it isn't.
Well, there's a difference between free speech and hate.
Yeah, there's a
and
difference
just
between free speech and
hate.
And hate speech is something entirely different.
And
or
discrimination.
Yeah,
and
saying things
racism
saying things that are
huge difference,
abusive and cause harm to other people, and you can't just put that under the banner of free speech.
Exactly.
So,
and you can still be arrested and sent to jail for saying things on Facebook.
Yeah, and Twitter, and you hear it all the time of people saying things.
Yeah. Well, remember the London riots in 2011 or whenever it was? I can't remember when it was. The big London riots. People who hadn't committed actual crimes, but who had talked about doing it on social media were sentenced to jail terms. And it was a huge thing because they were saying that they are doing it and they will do it. If you say, oh, let's go rob that, okay, yeah, I'll see you at that store at X and we'll rob it and we'll steal the TVs, blah, 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 that's a crime and you will be sent to jail. And
also, I know what we'll do this week. We'll test and see quite how closely GCHQ are actually watching us.
Okay, good idea.
If we spend the whole week seeing if we're going to plot to rob a shop next Saturday.
See if we get arrested.
If this is the last ever pod,
you know why?
Then we know that GCHQ's listening in on our text conversations is better than we thought.
Yeah, I think they do. I don't know if I've said it on the pod before, but I am 99% sure Facebook listens to conversations.
And then
on your phone, and then advertises accordingly. Because 3 times now this has happened. 3 times something's happened. First time, an ad for Brewdog. Second time was an ad for going on a trip to Canada. I'd spoken to my girlfriend about going to Canada. The first time we had ever spoken about going to Canada, I go to the bathroom, scroll through Facebook, as you do, ad, visit Canada. I'd never even Googled visiting Canada before. Like, come on. And then yesterday, there's the third time it happened, I was talking to Jazz, girlfriend, about... it was this morning. We were listening to Fleetwood Mac's I think it is, song, and it was the one that they used in the 3 advert a couple of years ago with the pony. Do you remember the pony ad?
Yes, it was.
I don't know. That was Fleetwood Mac. It was someone else, maybe.
It was Fleetwood Mac, I think.
Fleetwood Mac. That track, right? And we were talking about that because it was on, and we were talking. What was that advert with this song? Was it Cadbury? No, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, go to the bathroom, scrolling through Facebook. A video feed thing brings up this ad, right?
What, that actual ad?
The actual ad came up
That's
in
been out
the recommended videos. Yeah. Like, come on. Why? It's not even like an ad they're advertising anymore, but it came up in the recommended videos.
Yeah, that's a bit weird because...
The 3 pony ad.
The 3 pony. 2013.
Yeah, this song. That one.
Yeah, why were you thinking of...
Well, we were listening to the song. The song came up on a playlist.
Oh, okay.
And
then you were
we were talking about the ad. We couldn't remember what ad it was.
Reminiscing back to the moonwalking shed.
Then it came up on recommended videos. Like, come on.
That is a bit of a...
Maybe that was a coincidence. Maybe. But the other 2, no way. So, yeah. Be aware. And do you know what's worse? I've checked and Facebook doesn't have permission to use my microphone.
That was going to be my next line of inquiry.
Yeah, I checked. Facebook does not have permission. No, neither does Messenger. Or my camera. Messenger's not even allowed to use my camera.
Is that because you've covered yourself to stop this happening before?
Well, I don't know, but it just isn't. I've checked. Because my phone always asks permission for apps to use hardware. It'll always ask permission.
Yeah, I had that. I did see that when the set of permissions that Facebook was asking for were a little bit
suspicious,
overzealous of some of the things they wanted.
Yeah,
they were trying to get hold of things that you didn't really need.
I can. I don't know if it's if you can do it with iPhone, but on Android each app you can turn off individual permissions.
Yeah, you definitely can't do that on...
Yeah, so I can deny an app access to SMS and stuff like that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's the easiest way. It's the easiest thing in the world to do, isn't it? Have an app that just harvests and farms information and harvest and farms of data. And I think nowadays you must probably have to prove why you need it, because they do vet apps a bit more.
Yeah, they do.
Than back in the day of like...
Yeah, definitely.
Do you remember that bloke who made that app that was called Make Me a Millionaire?
Yeah.
And it was just a $1 app or whatever, a 99-cent app, and it did nothing really. And you bought into it knowing full well that it didn't really do anything.
That's right.
And
it just gave him a dollar.
And it gave him
every time.
$1. And almost like he was just crowdfunding himself. I don't know, just a bit of a witty investment, to be honest.
I think it worked, though.
It did, and then they took it down because...
Well, they
took it down, and then they were trying to say that it was false advertising, but it was, if anything, the least false advertising.
He wasn't providing a service.
And he was daily straight up that he was providing no service.
There was a guy, there was someone else who did an app that was like a cost $999,900.
Oh, yeah, and you could buy in. It was like the Millionaire Club or something. Yeah.
And he did sell some, but again, they took it down, and I think they refunded the amounts.
Yeah.
Well, I doubt the App Store or Play Store would have missed those size transactions going through. They'd probably been like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I imagine that, they're...
they probably have a limit on the cost of apps now.
Yeah, probably. Well, surely when stuff gets approved, like, as it gets checked, they must have to...
You could just do an app that was free and that was called the Club or something. And you go in, and depending on how rich you are, you buy, like, awards.
What, as an in-app?
You buy, like, awards, like, I have $10, and then that costs $10, or I'm a millionaire, and you have, like, a millionaire one, and that costs $1 million. People would definitely buy into that.
You said you don't have ideas. You've just given out a really
good
idea.
Well, there you go. We could be millionaires in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, isn't it weird though that people make apps?
There's got to be a breach of some
apps. You can earn a lot of money from, and then lose money. You can do it really
multi-millionaire.
Yeah, in really quick, really short periods of time.
Yeah, look at Flappy Bird guy.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say, and you can
like a terrible app, and it went viral.
It's interesting, right? This almost comes back to what we're going to say, and it doesn't necessarily. Oh, it was another news story I thought about using. And the wealth doesn't always land on people who can deal with it or want it. So just because you come up with a good idea for an app that all of a sudden goes boom, a.k.a. the Flappy Bird guy who didn't want to have his life ruined.
He cut it off, didn't he?
He cut it off
the store.
Yeah, because it was making too much money.
Too much cash.
Well, he could have always just taken the ads off it and just made it into a non-profit.
Or given the money to charity.
Yeah, there's loads of things he could have done.
There must have been something we didn't know.
Well, then this is a bit like this one here. But this was another news story that didn't quite make my cut, but I do quite like it.
Yep.
Britain's youngest Euro Millions winner planning to sue the lottery bosses for ruining her life.
What? How did they ruin her life?
I thought it would make it 10 times better, but it's made my life 10 times worse.
Oh, what, the money?
I wish I had no money most days. Right?
What?
She's a Scottish woman.
Hang on, but she's suing them.
Yeah, so
what, for money?
Well, then, yeah, this is why I thought it was a glorious irony, and it had Start of a 10 written all over it. So all she was doing.
What?
So the only thing that could come out of this was giving her more money, therefore making her, in her eyes, more unhappy. Because then it would...
What?
It becomes amazing, doesn't it? Because then... apparently,
surely a judge would just throw that out of court.
Apparently she says she's become bored of relentless consumption and felt like it failed.
How much did she win?
And it felt like it failed to offer the long-term genuine happiness that winning the lottery is thought to bring.
What? But it's not. It's thought to just bring you money. Why don't she just give it all away? Stupid woman.
She's 17 years old and she won £1 million. She won
£1 million. She
won £1 million. Yeah, but she's in Scotland. She's already bought 2 houses.
Well, she's just bought half of Scotland.
Yeah. She has. Remember, her money goes significantly further away. Goes a lot further. Yeah, it's just mad. People look at her and think, "I wish I had her lifestyle. I wish I had her money," but they don't realise the extent of my stress.
So, actually, in all reality, she just needs to see a psychologist, and she'd be fine.
She's arguing that you should be 18 should be the minimum age of winning the lottery, and that 16 is far too young. But obviously 2 years is obviously just enough.
But she played the game knowing how much she could win.
Exactly.
So imagine if she won,
fine. Imagine if she won 101 million like Dave Dawes.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you reckon Dave's moaning and trying to sue them?
I don't think he is.
And then
I was a story I read about this couple that won, right? They won like 60-something million on the Euro. And what National Lottery does is they send a social worker type person to you.
oh god, they won't. They don't
They
let
just
you
give you
stuff it
cash.
up.
No, they give you a person, they give you a caseworker, and they work with you.
Yeah,
They
that's
ask what
what I
you're
was
going to spend it
reading
on.
through to this
Blah
now.
blah blah. Anyway, so this couple, right? They had already planned a holiday the following week, the week after the week, and they also had a boiler man coming the following day. The guy coming to fix the boiler. So they won the lottery, and then the next day they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not going to spend it. Yeah, we don't need to worry about it. We've got a holiday booked, so we're going to take that.
We'll deal with it when
first.
we come back off the holiday.
Yeah, we'll come back off holiday, and then we'll think about it. And that's the way you deal with a holiday, a lottery win. You have to just be chill about it, and not go and spend on Ferraris and cocaine.
Yeah, you get a dedicated winner's advisor.
Yeah, there you go.
And then they help arrange private banking and sort through the publicity if that's a problem.
Yeah.
And then they also they help you with investments and give you ideas suggested, because obviously
They try and help you spend it.
they try and help you spend it in a way that is going to prolong your wealth
and
probably.
not destroy your person.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I really
Stop
want to know what
burning-
this stupid 17-year-old has actually done, because
She's bought two. By the sounds of it, she's done it all right. To be honest, she's bought 2 houses and she still has an £8 an hour job.
well, then what's the problem?
What's the problem?
What's the problem?
I don't. No, she won. Oh, her jackpot was 1.875, so it's nearly 2 million
Nearly
quid.
2 mil.
Oh no! Oh, this is a different girl. Callie Rogers, 16, was earning £3.60 an hour when she won a national lottery jackpot worth 1.875 million in 2003. She struggled to adjust to her newfound wealth. She went on a spending spree and is reported to have tried to kill herself.
God, these poor people
Different person. So arguably, I think this is probably why Camelot, the lottery people,
have to
try and do a lot more to.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of people who have killed themselves after winning lots of money. They have, because they just, drugs and suicide and...
Yeah, but you could always, as you said, you could always just get rid of all the money.
I know, you probably get in too deep though, don't you? Probably just get in too deep with consumption.
Yeah.
Not the disease. It's TB in it, I think.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. But, you
win the lottery and you just get TB.
It's the price you have to pay.
It's the price you pay for 2 million quid. Would you like 2 million for TB?
I'd take
No.
I'd take 2 million quid to get TB.
Really?
Yeah.
I suppose modern medicine.
Modern medicines are wonderful. I'd take my chances on that. But it's like the old classic, isn't it? No matter if you get a pay rise for the next 2 months, like, oh, you've got a little bit of money left over. 3 months in after having a pay rise, you just spend up. You just consume up to what you have.
I know you do. You wind up in the same situation.
You wind up in the same situation. Not where you've
do.
got no money, but you wind up. You always spend what you've got. It's like
yeah. You
That's
have
how
to
it
be
goes.
really strict with the way that you save and the way you spend.
But then if somebody suddenly landed all that money on you,
Yeah, but 2 million, I don't think that's enough for it to ruin your life. Not nowadays.
2 million would just set you up quite nicely.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
you'd buy a house or buy 2 houses, one here and one somewhere else, if you were so inclined. You'd buy a couple of cars and maybe some stuff for your family, like a couple of, maybe replace your parents' cars or whatever was needed. And you'd go on holidays and then you'd bank the rest and just live off a wage.
And
you
then
give yourself a wage, and then you get a volunteer job, or just did something you enjoyed.
Yeah, well, just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, but I don't think that's enough money to do the just do something you enjoy thing. I don't think that would be enough money. I think you could
but if you've not got a house to buy, then it doesn't matter, does it?
Let's face it, if you won 2 million quid, you could happily chew through 1.5 million quid buying a house.
Yeah, but you'd never have to pay for a mortgage.
Yeah, but if you did 2 houses and chewed through 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Like 2 houses with it. So £1 million.
You'd have $500,000 left.
$500,000 left that you just banked for your retirement
True.
and just got on business as usual.
Yeah, you would.
Knowing that you had very low cost to pay on a very nice house. And when you want to move, you could sell up your £1 million house.
Yeah, it's true.
Chill.
That would be the way to do it. There you go.
Yeah,
There's our
carry on.
consumer advice for the week.
Consumer advice for the week. Win 2 million quid and invest it in property and just don't be a dick.
Don't be a numpty and just keep your normal job or sack it in and get a job.
Yeah, well, just do something. Yeah,
something a bit more chill.
do something that's not going to it's not going to stress you out, but keeps you happy.
There you go.
And moral of the story that I just keep coming back to on lots of things: just don't be a dick. If you just
Good life advice.
Yeah, just
Don't be a dick.
Just don't. It's happy. It makes everybody happy. You'll be happier knowing that you're doing good things to other people. Other people will be happy that you're not being a dick.
Brilliant.
It was a win all round.
I've nothing to comment on that.
That concludes the personal messages. We continue with music.
There you go, ending on true consumer advice there.
Consumer advice. Wow, quite a journey. We went from Valentine's Day special with a man creating his own Tinder, Steve Shinder. Shinder, where you can only like him. So yeah, probably I wouldn't bother going on that.
No, me neither.
It sort of spoiled the punchline. Then, where did we go from that? Having ideas. And then we went to...
Yeah, then we talked about... Oh, we spent a while on that, didn't we?
That covered a long... That's not very broad.
Then we somehow got to the winning money. Oh, the guy on the internet.
Oh, we did apps. People coming into wealth really quickly, and then we ended up at the lottery, which ironically is something that I thought we might have started with.
Well, there you go.
And then we finished on some blinding consumer advice on how not to wreck your life.
Yeah, it's just more from our, life coaching series. We might cut all these snippets out and create a little life coach series.
Yeah,
it's great advice, so why wouldn't we?
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe we should open maybe we should have a string of podcasts.
Maybe we should.
A life advice one.
Yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
A money
5
advice.
minutes a week.
Money financial advice.
How to spend your millions.
How to spend... From two guys who have
Angus
no
and
idea.
George.
Yeah. There you go. That's a funny idea.
Great.
Right, so you up to anything good this week?
Yeah, work.
Yeah, just the usual.
Yep, usual.
Nothing exciting.
You?
Same old, just ticking on by.
Good, that's good.
Yeah, getting by, and then that's all we got really.
Cool.
So yeah, he's been George.
He's been Angus.
This has been Start for 10.
Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, get us on Twitter. So we didn't have a poll for
the
news story this week because I was at the rugby. I've been tied up. Not literally tied up.
Well, maybe save it for Tuesday. If we said anything wrong or made mistakes, tweet us.
Oh yeah, we like being
we love being corrected. Yeah, it makes us better.
It was nice to get a bit of fan mail last week. Talk about the school bus.
It was, yeah.
We got some
reminiscing.
We got a few people reminiscing back to the old days of.
Yeah, we love a bit
old days of school.
Love a good chat on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm bad. I'll just reply any time of day or night.
Could be 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I'll literally drop whatever I'm doing in replies. There you go. An offer you can't turn down.
Great.
Right,
thanks,
nice one.
guys.
Catch you next week.
Bye. That'll be good then.
There we go. I haven't drunk much beer.
I haven't either.
Got like 2/3 to go.
I got crisps.
Bet I can beat you to finish it.
Probably.
Go on.
No, I'm not wasting a good beer.
You're not going to neck it?
No.
Pussy.